At the point when it's popularly believed Nigerians have moved on from the Stone Age tradition and cumbersome lifestyle of the post office. But contrary to this perception, the federal government sees a potential gold mine waiting to be harnessed, so it decides the baby shouldn't be thrown away with the bathwater. Just recently, in a bid to revamp the Nigeria's Postal Service, NIPOST, the Postmaster General rolled out the roadmap for the modernization of NIPOST. But the question which is most likely bothering the public is how the federal government intends to turn around what was hitherto known as a moribund institution to a 21st century service delivery organization. It's question time. Welcome to the program. I'm Benga Ashuru. In a bid to set the record straight, Channels TV crew caught up with the Postmaster General of NIPOST, Barrister B.C. Adegbuyi. He is optimistic that federal government's reform initiative would make the Nigeria's postal service a lifestyle for robust business transaction and wealth creation.
Well, I've heard that comment over and over again, and it's not difficult to explain why people believe the post office in Nigeria is dead. If post offices in other parts of the world are still vibrant, they are running government services. When you want to renew your passport, you want to pay utility bills and all of that, the post office cannot but be relevant. It is simply because for many years, NIPOST had been a monoproduct organization, concentrating on mails and then parcels. When the disruptive technology of internet came, naturally, invariably, mails declined. People were not posting letters as they used to be. But the beauty of it is that it has created humongous opportunities in parcels and packages. You know, when people buy stuff online, when they buy products, you go to deliver them anyway. And the online stores don't want to get involved in delivery.
But you are introducing a cutting-edge technology in an institution that has a culture, painted a classic picture of a conservative civil service. So who are those to man this revolution?
It is just training. And then when you have opportunities to recruit, you go out there to recruit bright young girls and boys who would know that there's a future working with the post. Let me give you an example. Remittances all over the world is about $21 to $23 billion to Nigeria. The cost of remittances is about 12%, it's coming down to 10.7%. Because post offices are not involved, it's such a huge cost to our people in the diaspora.
If you talk about recruiting young ones now, dynamic young ones now, they still have to follow the public service rules and regulations. And don't you see a bottleneck in this regard?
No, you are not getting it right, because the essence of corporatization, there's a postal reform bill in the National Assembly. The moment it is passed, NIPOST will become corporatized. By virtue of that, it becomes a public postal operator that will be governed by the provisions of Company and Allied Matters Act. What that means is that government will still have control in shares, but private sector people will invest into it and they will drive it. So that's a remarkable difference. It opens up opportunities for investment, both local and international. You will agree with me that that's going to make a world of a difference. I was telling you something about remittances. $23 billion, that's huge. The largest destination for remittances in Africa is Nigeria. So post offices are not involved now.
Now, talking about the $23 billion remittances from abroad, could you shed more light into this?
It's not government money. Now, the point I'm making is that because...
How does that improve the economy now?
I mean, isn't that inflow of capital? I mean, simple economics will dictate to you that...
NIPOST.
Not through NIPOST now, through Western Union, MoneyGram. Okay. But now that we have created a commercial business unit that would run financial services, NIPOST is set to be part of that ecosystem and make money for itself. That's huge. What about financial inclusion that NIPOST and central bank are driving? Financial inclusion simply means giving access to people in the rural areas to open accounts, basic bank accounts, to have them to have some money in their account. Mobile money, they do it in Kenya, they do it in Senegal, through the post offices. Because we are not doing here, does not mean other post offices all over the world are not making money. The way to go is to diversify. Our properties are scattered all over Nigeria. These are prized assets. But because we're a wholly government-owned institution, you can't do anything with those properties. But when you become a public limited liability company, you can use your properties as assets of security to access funds.
Now, NIPOST would be competing with other reputable courier services in Nigeria, private courier services in Nigeria. How do you intend, do you have the resources to compete with these private courier services?
You set your priorities. Where are you going to make money from? We don't make as much money from courier service as we're going to make in e-commerce and logistics. We don't make as much money as we're going to make in financial services. $23 billion I've just mentioned to you. We will leave that and concentrate efforts on, we are not saying we're not going to do courier services, but let me say this to you. Post offices in other jurisdictions go into insurance business. Now, let me also say this to you. When we were growing up, I was in a boarding house, and people were being sent money order and postal order. Isn't that a legal tender? Because internet or disruptive technology has taken over, can't we go into it in a manner consistent with the prevailing circumstances? E-money order, e-postal order.
Doesn't that mean that NIPOST is usurping the powers of the banking institution through the back door?
Were post offices usurping the banking role when they were issuing money order and postal order? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. Traditional functions of post offices as enshrined in the law should also be carried out in line with what is happening today. All you have to do is deploy technology